Good afternoon, everybody. David here with Day Trade Like a Pro. Welcome. This is our third of our four-part series of the live trainings that we're doing for the month of April, and just want to welcome everyone. Today, the training is going to be led by Ephraim, our head trader, CEO, founder of Day Trade Like a Pro. Most of you know him within the Discord channel as @DTLAP. And for those of you who know him well, you know he's an outstanding trader, an outstanding teacher and coach, and generally someone who's committed to supporting consistently profitable traders. So we will get started right away. There's a lot to cover today, and so with that, I'm going to pass it off to Ephraim. Before I do that, really quick. It's just like last time, if you guys have questions as you're going along, just post them in the question box, and we will, address those as appropriately as we go along. So with that, on to you, Ephraim.
Okay, thank you. So, all right, great. So you can see my screen, and I'm assuming everyone can hear me, that we're good with that. David, you've at least got me. Yes, great. Okay, good. So I'm going to try and pop out the... All right, so David, I think you're on questions. I didn't pop out the screen here for whatever reason. So if you see anything that comes across there, just let me know, and we can jump in at any time and cover anything there. Okay, so welcome everybody. It's great to be here, and I'm looking forward to what we're going to cover here today. And we'll just jump right into it. I would start it off with that if you have questions, just ask those questions. Any questions that you have, obviously be great if it's relevant to what the material is that we're discussing today, but you want me to speak to anything specifically, just go ahead and jump in there and ask any questions that you have. We can make this as interactive as you'd like it to be. So today we're going to talk about what we call MAP, which is really, I think, the best thing in the trading world out there. And I'm slightly biased to that. So we'll jump over and we'll talk about we'll talk about a bit about that today. Okay, so if you don't know who I am, that's me, and I've since cut my hair, not because of the comment about if I was a good trader, I could afford a decent haircut, but too much work having long hair and twins. So I've been trading since 2006. I actively trade every day, and I'm pretty much just don't know anything as well as I know the S&P 500. But I've traded a number of different markets, and I will trade different markets at times, but primarily the S&P 500, and that's actually what we're going to be looking at today. So a couple of things I want to cover, what you're going to actually get out of today and the time that we're going to spend here. The first thing is we're going to talk about how to read the map. So I'm going to show you real examples from inside of our Discord community where we are posting the map, and so this will be particularly valuable for map members that are currently there. And if you are a MAP member right now, feel free to jump in if you have a question or you want to clarify something or whatever. It'd be great. We can dive into that. And then how to identify the trades based on MAP. And then we'll talk about an approach to managing risks, or managing your risk, and also managing your trades. We'll talk a little bit about that. Also, again, if you have questions about something particular, then go ahead and ask that, ask those questions. And then we're going to make you a ridiculous offer to come join us in MAP for a year. And a bit of what we're going to cover today is going to show you an inside look at MAP. Now, I hope to accomplish a few things. I know that there's going to be some of you on the webinar with us today who are going to sign up for MAP for a year, and that's great. And we're excited to have you, and we'll do whatever we can to help you be successful and have the hopefully many, many years that you spend with us in MAP be very lucrative for you. And some of you are not going to be in a place that that's going to be something that you're going to do. You're not going to sign up for it. And what I hope that you get out of today, is that you actually that you start to learn how to design your own trading around the same ideas and the same concepts that we're doing inside of MAP. Now, even if you're not there and you're not, and you're not using what we're doing inside of MAP. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the philosophy and the approach and the methodology to how MAP works, which I believe is really the way the market works. So we'll dive into that a bit. I think the best thing that I could offer you, we could do training, and we try to do a lot of training. We've been doing the pre-market videos, post-market reviews. We're working on a brand new training that will be rolling out for you as well, designing your trading like a trading business. And so we're trying to do a lot of, put out a lot of good training, free content, that type of thing. And at the same time, we also, the best thing that we believe that we could offer you is to come spend a year in MAP with us. There's at some point, if you're a serious trader and you're serious about being a professional, at some point you have to say, okay, this is the next step as a trader for me, and take that next leap into whatever the next thing is for you. And for some of you, that will be MAP, and it'll be fun to have you there. So remember, we did, if you joined us for the Ninja Trader webinar, we talked about the key criteria for any trading system. So does it answer these questions? Where's the market going? Where can I enter? And by when is it going there? And we're going to show you we're going to take a look at MAP and see if MAP actually fits that criteria. So you should be able to see this. This is a screenshot. I did it like this because I would have spent so much time going back and forth between Discord and charts. So all I did is just take a screenshot, throw it up on here, and put it up on here. You're not getting everything that we're posting in MAP in these screenshots, but you're getting a bit of the a taste or a flavor of what we're talking about. And so I'm going to just read through this. So we talked Thursday. This is, by the way, this is last Monday. Last Monday. So this is the 5th of April. So we talked Thursday about bigger picture. We should see 40, 40 plus. And then Friday, if you remember, that was Good Friday and the market was closed. And right before the close, there was a spike up. It got to 4,038, and then a little bit of a pullback. So Friday before the early close, we saw a big push up, and that has got to 4,038. Since then, the pullback. Now, by the way, I'm going to talk about something. A pullback is a move down in a market that is for buying, okay? Now, we talk about things a little bit differently. So a pullback would be when the market is, let's call it for simplicity's sake, in an uptrend, and it comes down lower and we buy that pullback. A bounce would be when the market's moving up or moving down overall in a downtrend, and we're selling the retrace, we're selling the bounce. Okay, so pullback, anytime we talk about a pullback, it's always meaning it's for buying. And anytime we talk about a bounce, it always means it's for selling. So there's not a lot of things that are absolute in trading. I will never misuse those words, so you can count on that. So this is telling you a bit of a story here. So since then, the pullback got to 21 and couldn't even get to the CP, which is a critical price, which is a prediction point. So could be a sign that things are pretty strong still. The current swing high here is 4,038. Let's keep an eye on that 44, 45 area today. Above that, things start to open up a bit, eventually 4,075 plus, if they can hold above 45 area. So you see here what we're talking about. Basically, there's a target. If you can read the target, we got to get up above that 44, 45 area. That's worth keeping an eye on, but ultimately the target is 4,075. So let's see what actually happened. So if you look at on the open, that was the big yellow candle that breaks up there, and then it pulls back to the KP. I believe that the swing high there on the open was like 47 something. Then it pulled back to the KP there within a tick, and then you're buying 43. And now I want to show you, I said target 4,060 and 4,075 because in MAP, as you spend a bit of time there, there's some things we're going to make some assumptions about, like that CPs are meant for taking some profit. So there's a CP right there at 4,060. We're operating under the assumption that that's a place that you would take some profit. If you bought 4,043, you'd want to take some profit at 4,060. So I didn't go through and find the best scenarios that I could show you. I literally just went back to last Monday, and we have a few days, and I'm going to just go through those days and show you the moves from those days and what we said about it ahead of time. So there you have it. It pulls back to 43. That's for buying. What's the target? Ultimately, it's for 4,075. And you can see that it got to 4,000. So we were targeting 4,075. There's the KP right there. And if you look right here on the post over here, we said, okay, that seems broken. And unfortunately, when we do it this way, you don't see the time, but that was referencing right here when it broke up on the open and came back. That was referencing that part. Okay, so I think, can I do I'm not sure that you can see my mouse. Maybe you can. But anyway, it was referencing that. You can see the mouse.
Yes.
Great, good. So it was referencing this right here. So right when this came up here, I said, okay, well, that seems broken to me. So why would we say that? So 70 plus, that means 4,070 bigger picture. And if you look at bigger picture, that 4,070 area is going to be important. So watch out for that today. Could be tough to close much above that. And I wish that that was time stamped, because I said all those things right here at this, right when this was happening. So this is just a few minutes into the session. And if you look at what happened, so we adjust the target to 4,070, or maybe the KP, but let's say 4,070 to be conservative. And if you look right here, the closed at 4,070 quarter. Could be tough to close much above 4,070, and we said that in the morning, and it closed at 4,070 quarter, hours and hours later. So what would a trader do? You would have bought 4,043. You could have certainly bought a pullback right here to the CP. In fact, that would definitely be a trade that I would take, is buying the CP there, targeting up higher, and then closes one tick above that. Okay, so let's look through a couple of things here. So one of the things that we start every day is we start every morning with a recap and kind of bring you up to speed. If you've ever watched a TV series, or a series that goes over a period of time, they always do that previously on, and that's really what we're doing here. We're saying, all right, you've probably been sleeping, and even still, we want to remind you and just bring you up to speed of what's been happening. Let's look at the bigger picture. Let's look at where we are in the bigger picture. Let's look at all of that. And so a couple of things we're still talking about. If you look right here, we got to 74.50, and that is still not supposed to be high enough. So if that's not high enough, then we'd want to be buyers. That's the way that that's what we'd want to be doing. So since then, there's been some pretty decent pullback. Pullback is for buying, down to 52 quarter. And that is not far enough to change anything. So just a pullback, and we're still buying. Ideally, we'd get a little bit more pullback, but it doesn't have to happen. So just saying that could happen, doesn't have to happen. key turns, that KT stands for key turns. That's one of our indicators that's available in our Pro Suite, which we'll talk about today. So key turns is 6150, that's 4,061.50. And if they could get and hold above key turns, that would open the door for 76 plus, and eventually 84 plus, and then 91 is above 84. Now, it's one at a time. If you listen, you can go back and watch the video that I recorded this morning. I said, at the end of it, I said, trade smart, trade it step by step, trade one at a time. That means above 6150, it's opened for 76, but we got to take out 76 to get 84. Okay, so let's go look at what happens. So here's the open, it wicks down through here. This is key turns right there at 6150. So we're buying 6150. What's the target? 76. So I'm going to just play devil's advocate for a minute. This swing low over here is like, let's just call it 58. It's actually not quite that low. In MAP, a typical kind of risk, we usually say if you get in a trade and it doesn't get that follow through within, say, a point, maybe 2 points of where you're buying or selling against, then that's probably not the trade. So as a standard kind of rule of thumb, that doesn't mean, okay, great. I remember when we very first launched MAP, there was a guy, and sorry if you're on the call today, I actually don't remember his name, so he's probably not here, but he sent an email at the end of the day and he said, I had a terrible day. And I said, okay, what happened? And he said, I got stopped out on the first 3 trades, and then I just closed it up and quit trading for the day. And I said, okay, so where did you get stopped out? Or what were you doing with your stop? And he said, well, I figured since you said somewhere between a point or 2, I would just go 6 ticks. So on the S&P used a 6-tick stop loss, and ironically, all 3 of them stopped him out to the tick. And then he quit and was done for the day. So I'm not saying that using a 1 point or 2 point stop loss. I have a very different philosophy than most traders about stop losses. We might talk a little bit about that today, but most traders are obsessed about losing. So if I'm buying here at 61.50 and I have a target up at 76, let's just call it 14 points to be conservative, okay? And I have a target up there, and I have a swing low right here at 58. It's 3.5 points. So am I willing to risk 3.5 points, which is unnecessary even, but am I willing to risk 3.5 points for this potential 14-point target? And if your answer to that isn't yes every time, then I don't know why you would be trading. For most traders, that's a far better risk to reward than they're ever getting. So, that's basically, and if you were a little bit more advanced, you might have bought it down a little bit lower. But let's just say, if nothing else, you bought 61.50. And there is, this green line is 76. And you can see that's actually the high of the day. And we typically say you want to be a couple of ticks in front of it for the most part. So if we say 76, don't try and trade 76 right on. Try and trade 75 half. And so there you have it. There's a buy at 61.50, 14-point target. I don't know how many of those you need in a day to make it worth your time, but that's a pretty good one, I think. Okay, so now let's look. These are actually just going in order, so you're going to start to notice like this is just picking up where things left off. And I wanted you to kind of get the story here. Okay, so at this point, the 50 area KP needs to hold for higher. So between 56.50, that's 4,056.50, down to 50. If it gets that low, there's a bit going on. So that just means there's a lot of prices in there, and I'm not going to try and guess which of those it's going to use. It just means that in that 6.5 point range, there's a lot going on in there. We want to be buyers as long as 50 is holding. and then needs to take out 71 here for more. And I don't see it. Oh no, I don't. Okay, I actually happened to look.
12:15 is the timestamp of that. 12:15
Yep.
Pacific is the
Yep.
timestamp for that.
Yep. I remembered that because I went and looked at it. So let me show you what happened. So that happened, that was before the close over here. This swing high, that red line, is 71.50. So needs to take out 71 here for more. And yes, by the way, I'll just warn you right now, if you do sign up for MAP, my fingers typically don't work as fast as my brain. And so I know that's not how you spell more, and that's how I spell it 80% of the time anyway. And just is the other one I like to not spell the right way. So I'm sure you've seen that if you've been in Discord at all. Okay, so look right here. So here's 70, this red line right here is 71. And that swing high was 70.5. And here it pulls back. This red line, you're welcome to go look at this on your own and verify. These are just screenshots off my chart. The market hits 56.50. So we're buying 56.50, and what's the target? Well, it's already been to 76. So the next target up above 76 would really be 84. Okay, so that's your buy. That was about 6 o'clock Pacific time. It came down there and tagged that. We gave this price the day before that, going into the close, and then it ended up holding here the next morning. And then, okay, let's cover a couple of things. So the move down overnight to the KP at 56.75, that probed by a tick. What you're going to see is that prediction points changed, and that was actually the new KP down there. So it's really the last chance for any higher. That means can't go below that. Okay. So how many of you in your trading, I mean, what are the things that you're faced with, what are the kinds of challenges that you're faced with? Should I be buying? Should I be selling? Where's the market going? Where should I be buying? Where should I be selling? In most cases, what you're starting to see, as I was going through and taking all the screenshots, I thought this is getting a bit repetitive, because it's just basically the same thing that we do day in and day out. So, okay, so 56.50, probe by a tick, it's the last chance for any higher. That means if that breaks, we can start selling it, okay? That didn't happen. We said it needed to get back above 61.50 and 63, otherwise it would be down to 36 area minimum. So if 56.75 breaks, which is really 56.50, we're going down to 36. So there's 20 points on that if it breaks. If they take out 63.50 and eventually can hold 61.50, then we'll see 74 to 76 again. And above that would be 91. That'd be a new all-time high. Let's see what happened. So there's the low from in the morning. That was what we showed you on the previous chart. That's the new key price for the day at 56.75. It probed at one tick to 56.50. And then the first target would be 61.50. That's just this, that would be just the CP right here, okay? So there's 61.50, and then it just really was off to the races once the market opened. And so there's that buy, but then the market opens, and we said, if they could take out 63, remember we said if they take out 63.50, let's go back. If they can take out 63.50, 74 to 76. So what happens? This is 63.50 up in here. They definitely took that out. And then let's look right here at the top, you can see. So the KP, 64.75 or 63.50 for a pullback. Outside chance of the CPs down there, but not ideal. That means these. So it could come back to these. But when this was posted in the morning, this was like over here. And I don't know about you, but I think that low is 64.75. So the KP, I think, is 65.50. So that's the KP. Then I said 64.75 or 63.50. Now, I don't make the rules. That's 3 prices all within about 2 points. You can pick one, you can ignore the others, you can do whatever you want to do with it. But for me, so I don't make the rules, I'm just the messenger here. I'm just saying these are the areas that you can buy it. And so let's say you just bought the KP here at 65.50, and your target, remember we said if they took out 63.50, where's the market going? It's going to 74. And that brings me back to a point of what I want to talk about. Something with the market here is that the market always works one way. It always works the same way. It's always going to a target from a particular price. That's all it's ever doing. It's going to a target from a particular price. And there's a lot of noise and things that happen in between there, but it's always going to a target. And for whatever reason, it baffles me that traders use all these things and so many different lagging indicators, and they're trying to find, the holy grail and some kind of a special indicator that'll give them the right signal of when to get in. It's all right there. It's going to a target. And so we're always thinking about the market, like where is the market going, and then where can I get in? So when 63.50 breaks out, where's the market going? It's going to 74 at least. So, and we said 74 to 76 area. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I think this is just a really great example of identifying where the market's going. Your target's that 73 area, and where is it coming from, which is that price you identified the day before at, was it 56?
Yeah, we're a little late to the party, right? Because here's 56 down over here. And so I wasn't here running map at that point. So maybe people got that, but I wasn't there at map at that point. But yes, I mean,
and then you have the pullback and saying, okay, here pullbacks are, like we said at the beginning, pullbacks are for buying. Buy the pullback, and your target, which is 8 points away. I mean, you make a living off of 8
about as simple and straightforward as it gets. And these are not, this is not, I know we have some map members in here. I mean, I don't see the list, but I know we have some map members in here. These are just typical examples. I could find examples like this from any day.
Any day.
I would say maybe once, maybe twice a month. And if you are a member and you pay for map, and you're a member here, and if what I'm saying is inaccurate, I absolutely want you to correct me. But I'd say once, maybe twice a month, I'm just off. Like I just don't get it right. And it's not like you're gonna blow your account out doing that. It just means like, and I'll literally just tell you, all right, I don't get it, But the rest of the time, it's pretty much every move within a tick or two for the most part. Let's say 80% of the time. So so there you have it. You buy there at 65, and then you move the swing here got to 73.50. So a little tricky. We said 74. It got to 73.50. It hung around for a long time. I don't know about you. These are 5-minute candles. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 25 minutes, and it's not getting through 73.50. And if I'm long from down here at 65, I'm probably not, if I have an order, because my order is likely sitting at 73.50, a couple of ticks in front of 74. And if it's hitting and hitting and hitting and hitting and not filling it, I mean, it spent 10 minutes here right there. So, I mean, you can hold it if you want for 1 tick. I'm not going to hold it for a tick. I'm just going to move my target down 1 tick and get filled. Okay. So that's how I'm going to handle something like that. And I think any of our more advanced members in MAP would agree with that. This would be the kind of thing you'd laugh about if you didn't, if you didn't do that. So, okay, so, all right, so here there's that move. It went to 73.50, and then remember, I want to come back to this. So remember right there. So the CPs but not ideal. It could come back to the CPs, but not ideal. So what happens is it comes to 73.50. Remember, the target's 74. It doesn't get to 74 quite. It comes a little bit short of that, 2 ticks short of that. Well, where is the next place you're going to buy it? I couldn't really argue for a buy off of the CP. I mean, maybe. This would not be a trade that I would say, wow, this is a great trade, we got to get it. It really broke here. It kind of already came back. There's a lot of time spent here. I just don't know that they're going to come back and buy it all up right there. And so it basically fulfilled that target. So the next place that you could really even look at buying it would really be, it came to 64.75. You can't really even look at buying it till 63.50. So that's somewhere down over in this area. Okay, so there's that target that's fulfilled. Okay, let's jump over and look at something else here. Okay, this is the whole scenario as it goes along here. So it came back down. All right, so if you go back over here, this pullback that starts right over here, we're going to pick up where that leaves off. So it comes back down over here, down to the CP. You're buying the CP right here. What's your target? Well, 74 to 76 was the first target, but that 84, you still got to have that 84 number that's still out there in your head. By the way, I think that this was this a Fed day? Was this when the FOMC minutes came out? Is that what that was? The 7th? Yeah, that's a Wednesday. Does that seem right? Yep, that's a Wednesday. That's last Wednesday. That's when the FOMC meeting minutes came out. So kind of a bit lackluster here, and you know, not a whole ton of follow through on this. So okay, so here we have it. You know, this pullback over here. Let's move over into here. Okay, so we're buying the CPs. That's the point of it. So it pulls back. We're buying the CP here. I said first target right here. That would make sense. It's about 6 points. Covering some up here at the KP. What happens? It gets to 73. So if it got to 73.50 last time and it's going to go back up into that area, you're going to want to cover in front of that a little bit. It comes back down here. Notice it comes back to 61.50 to the tick. First target, you're going to want to cover some up here at the CP. That's a 6.5 point target up to there. And then second target, this is the KP up here. It's 75. It was actually 75 quarter. And I said, if you go back and you look, so see 74 to 76 area again. And here we have it. It goes up to 75 quarter. And then let's jump over here and look at what happens next. So I'm going to pause for a second. So David, any questions or anything that we want to cover?
There's just one question about the time. Louis, you're on East Coast time. We're on Pacific Standard Time. So you just got to translate it. Yep. 3 hours.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you look at this, we had the FOMC meeting minutes come out. This is all in succession. Like it's basically just one day or one section of the chart, then on to the next one. And if you look right here, we have this, we're basically, we want to buy this area. So it came down here to this. These are the new day's prediction points. Here's your KPs. You want to buy those. There's 73 quarter. This shouldn't be a huge surprise. It was the high of the day. It was a swing high. That 73 area, super important. Those are the kinds of things I want you to start to be able to point out and find for yourself as you get more experienced in MAP. Some of you are in like the ES Trader Talk or the NQ Trader Talk, and there's guys that are calling out numbers and you're going, you know, somebody made a joke today, like, what are you guys trading? Are you reading the tea leaves? And no, but you learn some things along the way, and you can add those things in and mix those things in here with what you're doing with what we're doing with prediction points. And a lot of those guys that you see coming up with their own stuff, those are all MAP members. So What's the target? The target's 80, 84, and 93. Right here, you can see. Should get 80, 84, and then 93. Now, those are all-time highs. Those are brand new all-time highs. The market had never traded that high. And what did we say? The CP and K turns as pausing areas, potentially. So you're buying for here. This is 80. So there's 80. It pulls back over here to key turns. We're buying that. Where's the next one? The CP ended up being like 85.25, I think, that day. So we'd set 84. That's fine. It doesn't really matter. The high was the KP or the CP to the tick. It pulled back. When the market's like this, you got to buy these shallow pullbacks into the prediction points here. So it pulled back. Buy that. Where's it going? It's already been to 85, 84. It's going to 93. So here we go. And it goes all the way to, this was actually, the new prediction point was 92.75. Or no, sorry, 92.50. The high was 92.75. So if you were trading a couple ticks in front of 93, you would have gotten filled on this. So look at this. This is in Globex, by the way. And look at this. We bought 73 for a 20-point target. We bought 76 for a 17-point target. We bought 83 for a 10-point target. And we bought 85 for a 7-point target, 8-point target. I bet that's more than a lot of people are doing in a week. And that was just, yeah, in a month. 95% of traders anyway. And that was all mapped out ahead of time, more or less to the tick. It's the point of, one of the main things that I want you to take away is that this is actually possible. It's possible that you can map things out ahead of time, and then you can plan your trades around it, and then just trade to your targets. And you can remove so much of the emotion and the guessing out of your trading. And I'm not saying it's completely mechanical. There is some interpretation, but unless you're doing this already, then you gotta be in map with us. So
yeah.
Okay, so
one question, Ephraim, that popped in. Any plans for a map for NQ? I'll let you field that one.
I have no plans for it right now. Personally, I'm not going to run it. I would love somebody to take over this job of running the ES map. And I'll tell you what, I don't know who's asking the question, but come do map with us on the S&P, and I'll teach you how to do it on NQ, and you can go run an NQ map. How's that?
There you go.
But no, I will likely never run an NQ map. I'm trying to get rid of the jobs that I have, not get more of them. So.
And just to be clear, that is a real firm commitment. If there is anyone who comes in and learns the ES map, learns how to do it, and can run an NQ map, we'd love to bring you on board and have you do that. We're very open to that.
Everybody that you've heard from, Jaime and from Justin, these are all people who started with us maybe where you are. They were on a webinar, they watched a video, or they started on a free trial, and now they're coaching people and running their own. That is the future of Day Trade Like a Pro. So part of it is that there's really, I don't know if there's any better way to develop yourself than by teaching it. For me personally, it was the thing that was like pouring rocket fuel on my own learning and development as a trader. And so for me running map and doing what I do, it definitely helps keep me sharp, and coaching some of the traders that we have. So yes, that's a real thing. That's a real possibility. I wasn't that was not a joke. I'm not going to run an NQ map, but you quite possibly could if that's something that you are committed to doing. So that's my answer. By the way, NQ and ES move together so often. Even if you're predominantly an NQ trader, I can't imagine that that being in the map for the ES wouldn't be useful for that. So
no, I know Jaime gets a lot of value from the map, and he trades only NQ.
Yep. So, okay, so, you know, just again, an example of, I mean, literally mapping it all out ahead of time and then having it all come to fruition, just like that. Map is a bit like live trade signals, except we figure that you can figure out how to manage your own risk, where you should put your stop, those kinds of things. And then there's a bunch more trade opportunities. And it's, you know, you get to choose how aggressive or conservative you get to be. So we're not telling you buy here and put your stop there and target this. As you learn to read the map, you figure all of those things out. And then if you're doing it wrong, we'll tell you and we'll get that corrected. And as you have questions, we're in the chat there together all day and we can answer any questions that you have. So this next part that I want to show you is then a 20-point pullback that happened from, so there's the high. By the way, that's an all-time high. I mean, it kind of gets silly at some point. If you go back and watch the last 2 weeks of pre-market videos, I think we called the all-time high every time it happened, either to the tick or within 2 ticks. You know, I mean, it's just absolutely wild. And so if that isn't evidence enough that you can map things out and then trade that plan, ultimately what we want with you is as you learn how to, I love when people stop coming to map, when they stop showing up and they stop reading it. I love that. Because to me, it tells me that they've reached a level of that they're mapping it out for themselves. They know what they're doing, and you know, maybe they want to look and see what I have to say about it, but they're confident in their own analysis and their own map that they're putting together. And you can't guess and get this lucky for this long. You know, I think I've been running map for something like, in one form or another, I think it's been something like 4 or 5 years. Our most successful traders have come out of map. No other program that we have has made more successful traders than map has. You know, it's where traders have literally gone, if you've listened to guys like Ty, and you know, where literally traders have gone from making $50 a day to $110,000 a day. You know, and I'm not saying it's going to happen to you if you join map, but I mean, literally every successful trader has come out of map. So there's something about the repetition of it and having it there in the way that we think about and approach the market day in and day out. And you do that every day for a year, and something starts to change in your trading. So yeah, so pretty remarkable, I think, a 20-point pullback from that 92.75. And where did it pull back to? Amazingly, that was actually the low before it made another rally to a new high. Right down, I think, a tick away from the KP down there. So pretty remarkable there. Okay, so I'm going to pause for a minute. I'm going to talk to you about how you could. I mean, really, I'm not really shy about what I'm trying to do here today. I want you to sign up for MAP if you're for real about being a consistently profitable trader, because I don't know any other way to help you the same way that I can help you if you're in MAP. It's just really that simple. So if you if you don't sign up for it, that's fine. You can stick around. You can take any of the offerings that you want. You can consume as much of the free content that we're putting out as you can possibly consume. And we're going to keep operating with the same commitment to have, you know, the best stuff that we can put out there. We're, you know, making a big push to put out a lot of good quality content for you. So stay around, keep consuming that. But I don't know any better way to help you than have you be in MAP. Have you come trade with us for a year. It's the best traders that we have at Day Trade Like a Pro are in MAP. And to have you come spend a year in there, I don't know any other way to help you. So my goal was not really to provide a ton of training. It was really to say, come sign up for MAP if you actually really want to get what you came to Day Trade Like a Pro for. Here you go. This is an invitation for that. Okay. So, okay, David, questions? Anything we want to answer?
Yeah, no. Well, I just want to put it out there to everyone listening. You know, if you do have we have about 15 more minutes. So if you do have other questions, please post them. One question that came up is, you know, what is the training for MAP? And I think it'd be helpful for you to talk about how you support traders as they're interacting with MAP during the day and have questions about it, and how you make sure that their questions are answered and they fully understand that.
Yeah, so I would say that probably the best thing that I could say about it would be something like this, is that if you've watched the pre-market videos, and part of it is that you might not, I'm going to take the case that maybe you don't, maybe you've been watching the pre-market videos and you don't quite understand. Somebody commented a few days in to posting the pre-market videos, they commented on the YouTube channel and they said, so basically it could do anything. This just is not useful information. You can't trade on it. And if you actually go look in our Discord channel, one of the rules says, you know, get your questions answered. That a lot of traders assume that it's us. It's not. It's you. And that's not arrogant, and it is somewhat a little bit of a joke, but I mean only like 1% of a joke, and the rest of it is dead serious. So if you don't understand something, and so you can ask any questions that you have about anything that I say in MAP, which happens all the time. Traders say, well, what about this? What about that? The thing that I've seen the most traders, that I've seen traders grow the most from, is understanding what the posts actually mean in MAP, because now they know what to do with it and how to trade it, where to get in, where to get out, how much risk to take, when to size up and get really big in a trade, when to size down and get small in a trade. We're talking about all of that stuff. And then any questions that you have, and then you have an amazing group of traders there. So the training is really on the fly as you have questions. If you're struggling with something, something's not making sense to you, at the end of the day, you should be looking at your chart and looking at what was said in MAP and looking at the trades that you made and go, yep, it pretty much went just like that. That's really how it should go. And 1 or 2 times out of the month, maybe I just don't get it right. I don't know, you know, whatever happens. I didn't have Wheaties for breakfast or something, but for the most part, 80+% of the time, we're just spot on about what the scenario is. And it doesn't mean the scenario always happens. And today would be an example of that. It got close to the target, but we knew exactly when it changed. And we said, okay, if it breaks this, we can sell it. And so, you know, if we're wrong, we're not wrong for very long. So, you know, that's a thing that, you know, we adjust pretty quick. So a lot of it's going to be on the fly. So if you need help, if you have questions, I'll hop on and answer questions with you. If we need to screen share, we'll do that. If you, you know, you can ask questions in the chat and we'll answer those questions in the chat for you. And not just me, but you'll get other traders' perspective who are in MAP, and they'll share their own, you know, their own opinion with it. So a lot of it's going to be what you need, and everybody kind of needs something a little bit different. But look, I mean, there's not a whole ton of training that I could even do on this. I mean, there is some training and some understanding to it, but it's really like, what training do you need as a trader? That's really the question. I mean, this is pretty simple. We're saying, as long as this holds, the market's going to here. And, you know, lately that's been, as long as this holds for buying, the market's going up to here. And then you can see the worst example we could find in the last week was that we missed the target by 2 ticks. Actually, today we missed it by about a point. And so that's the worst example that we could find. I mean, I don't know how much training you need. If you know, here's how you click the button, and then here's when it gets to the target, here's how you click the button to get out of it. And you really can make it, I mean, that might be a little oversimplified, but it doesn't have to be a whole lot more complicated than that.
I think that just speaks for the whole community as well. I'd be shocked if anyone could find a question that a trader asked in our Discord community about trading that was not addressed probably almost immediately and clarified and fully engaged with. So, I mean, that's what our community is all about.
So I saw that, just on that note, one of the NQ traders in the Discord channel, and I don't know, I'm not even going to pretend like I would know how to pronounce his handle, but he said he'd been struggling. He's been trading for quite a while. He's lost quite a bit of money, and, you know, was really hoping that coming to day trade like a pro would be the thing that would turn it around. And I think there were probably 5 or 6 people that said, post a picture of your chart and your trades. I mean, Jaime jumped in. There were a bunch of people. And then I saw today's taking trades for like 50 points on the NASDAQ. So I saw he took a trade, got out with like 8 points, said I'll buy it a little bit lower, and then ended up making, like, I think like 50 points or something. I didn't, you know, like do all the math, but I mean, those are the kinds of things that happen. Now you take that and it's like, you know, extremely elevated because everybody in MAP has this incredibly high. It's not for everybody, and it's definitely not for the people that want to like check it out and see if it's going to be for them or if it's going to work out. It's for people who say, I'm committed to being a pro trader and I can see this is the next step for me in the path of being a pro trader. So we don't want everybody. We know it's not going to be for everybody. We just want the people who are ready for the next step on their path to becoming a professional trader. That's really what it's about. Okay, so I'll stay around if I need to and answer some questions, but let me tell you what we're going to do. So I said at the beginning, we're going to give you a ridiculous offer, and I'm going to stick to that because, and if you've been around, you'll see, I mean, we don't really ever, we offered something like this when we did the webinar with NinjaTrader last time, and this is better. I don't know. I don't remember exactly the details of that, but this is the offer. What we're going to offer you today just doesn't happen. You can tell, like, you know, we don't do a lot of flash sales. We don't say get 50% off of this or that or whatever. Okay, so that's not what we're really about doing here. So okay, so you're going to get a year of MAP. So real time, this typically is like all day long. There are exceptions to that. I'm on vacation this week, so there are exceptions to that. I'm still there in the morning. I'm still mapping things out, and I'm still giving what's very tradable. And I really care about the success of our traders. So even then, I'm still checking in on my phone, seeing what's going on, and still posting in the Discord room as I see things are developing. So MAP by itself for a year is $79.97. Okay, that's what you pay for that for a year. We're going to also give you the Pro Suite. If you haven't seen that, there's a whole video that goes over all the Pro Suite. In almost every video you see me using key turns, that is included in the Pro Suite. We also have a bunch of other indicators that we include in there. We have one price, we have backfill, all of those things are useful. I know how those work, so I don't actually have the indicators on there, but these are all products that people pay and use year in and year out. Okay.
The new bias indicator is part of Pro Suite as well.
Oh, that's a bargain. Don't tell Jaime. Yeah, so the new bias indicator, which is awesome. So you're going to get all of that for life. So the whole Pro Suite for life, that's $59.97. Okay. You're going to get a year of live trade signals. This has kind of been my baby. I didn't actually know if it was even possible that we could do it and make it successful or make it work. I think it's been harder than becoming a profitable trader. There's been so many things to learn along the way. It's produced on average over 40 points every month over the last 8 or 9 months. Yes, we've had up and down months, but overall it's produced 40 points. Do the math on that. If you go sign up for like one of these combine accounts or like a Lilu or something and trade a 10 lot on there and tell me if you think you could make your money back on that. That is 35.64. And I don't know what else to say about the live trade signals. The results speak for themselves. There should be like 1,000 traders signed up for it. So it's free the money. Easiest thing that it's literally like getting free money, you know, as a trader. It's yeah. So there's that. And then you're going to get a year of prediction points, which is also over $3,500. So altogether, it's, if you bought all those things, and these are not hypothetical, you know, we made up these crazy prices. These are actual real things that people actually pay these prices.
Most people pay this price. Most people actually pay that specific price.
Yeah. So let's say the majority of people actually pay that price. We've sold a number of lifetime license pro suites for $6,000. Okay, so this is not like we made up some prices and then we were like, but today you can get it for $97. No, these are like actual prices. There's members on here that paid $8,000 for MAP. Okay, so 21,122 if you just go pay for it. And those are that's actually showing you the discounted. If you were to go sign up for the year and get the discount for the year, that's what you'd pay. Okay, so you'd spend $21,000. So for this week, we're going to give you over 50% off. So you're going to get MAP, the pro. What? Yeah. Does this show this on here? Do I need to go back to the other one? Yeah. Look at this. You're going to get a year of MAP. You're going to get a year of prediction points, a year of the live trade signals. If you traded a 2-lot on the live trade signals over the last 9 months, you would have netted out over $18,000 on a 2-lot. Okay, I mean, I don't know how you make it. And you're getting MAP, and you're getting prediction points, and you're getting the Pro Suite with the new bias indicator, which I think is actually the best as far as any indicators or anything that we offer. In my opinion, the new bias indicator is the best thing that we offer. So that's it. I mean, I don't know how to. The goal would be, and I can't promise or guarantee that or whatever, but the goal would be, look, if all you did was sign up for this and learn MAP and copy the trades in the live trade signals, that says it's the end of the slideshow. There we go. And copy the trades in the live trade signals with a 2-lot in like a online combine account. You literally, David and I did the math in the last 9 months. If you signed up for a Lilu account, paid us, paid Lilu, all of that, you'd have netted out over $18,000 just following live trade signals on a 2-lot.
On a 2-lot.
On a 2-lot. You know, if you did it with like 10 or 20, it's $180,000. You know, it's just crazy. So we're really trying to make it, like I said, I'll go back to where I started. My goal is that you come spend a year in MAP with us. Part of why I even do the live trade signals is so that traders can pay themselves while they're learning and going through that learning curve. Okay. And if you have a system, if you're not killing it, let's say at a minimum, if you aren't outperforming what the live trade signals is doing, come do MAP. Follow what live trade signals is doing in your own account, in a combine account, whatever you do. Follow the live trade signals. And, you know, in the last 9 months, it would have netted out $18,000. It's about this is the best thing that I know how to offer you. If you're serious about trading, you want to get to that next level as a trader. I don't have anything better. I mean, short of you coming and living in my house and trading with me for a year, this is the best thing I know what to offer you. You know, if you're serious about it. And it's not going to be for everybody. I couldn't stress that enough. It's only going to be for the people who know they're ready for that next level as a professional trader. So we will shoot out the link here. You can go sign up for this on the website. This is a limited offer. I mean, this is not like going to just go on forever. I don't know. We're saying this week. Okay, yeah. David really handles all the operational stuff.
This week, you have to access it through this link. This is not something that we're publishing on our website or anything like that. This is meant for the select group of traders that are with us already today. I posted the link in the chat. You can click on that to sign up. We will send out a follow-up email to the people that attended today with the offer and the details of all of that. You know, I'm sure there are people that are like, sign me up. You're going to click on the link and sign up. And, you know, we're very excited to have you. For anyone who is, you know, if you are on the fence and you want to have a conversation with myself or Ephraim to see if this is right for you or not, we're both fully available to have conversations. It'll probably be me while Ephraim's on vacation, but very, very happy to have that conversation with you. Or if you want to chat with a MAP member, we can put you in contact with some of our MAP members, and they can tell you about what it's been like as well. So,
yeah, I want to do, I don't have permission to do this, so I'm not going to give the name, but I got a message. This is from one of our MAP members. He said, this is today, he said, today is 1 year with Day Trade Like a Pro. Happy I joined. I've come a long way. I know my trading has improved immensely and my self-control and emotions are coming. Still a work in progress. Thanks for everything. Looking forward to continuing growing. Okay. So the other thing that I was thinking as you were saying that, David, we've literally never, ever had somebody ask for their money back from MAP.
No, I mean, didn't even realize that, but yeah, absolutely. Not once. Not even,
we've never had a complaint about that they didn't think that. The only thing I've ever heard from members that sign up for MAP is that they love it. I literally have never heard anything. I've never heard anything negative about it. I just don't think there's anything else like this out there. So if something inside of you says, yes, this is for me, great, go sign up and we'll keep doing what we've been doing for 4 years. Nothing's going to change with that. And, you know, today's few examples I gave you, I could have picked any day or any week and they all would have basically looked the same. You know, it's pretty much the same thing that we do day in and day out. So what I really want to leave you with is my appreciation, my gratitude for you being here. And I mean, yes, being here on the webinar, but being whatever way you participated with Day Trade Like a Pro, if that's that you are one of our customers or that you are on a free trial with us right now, or maybe you've been thinking about trying something out, you know, thank you for that. And so many of you are such a huge contribution to the Discord group and to the new traders that come in. So thank you for that. You guys are absolutely the best part of Day Trade Like a Pro. So it's been so great to be here with you today. Thanks for your time, for your attention. I hope you got something valuable out of today. I'm looking forward to those of you that are going to come join us in MAP. And with that, I'll turn it over to David and he can send us on home.
No, I think that's it. So the link's in the chat. I'll post a link in the Discord as well, so you guys can have access to that. And like I said, we'll send out the recording of this so you can go back and review everything. And you know, we look forward to having you join us and reach out if you want to have a conversation. Thank you, everyone. We really appreciate it. And Ephraim, go get back to your family.
Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
Bye, all.